My Family Tree, the Stewarts, Morrisonville in Arizona during the 1960s, Part 2. And here we are flying over Morrisonville. Today we're going to see Greg and Vicki Stewart and their mom and dad, Carol and Jim. And my mom and dad, Shorty and Colleen. And Grandma Nellie. And my grandpa, Merv. His sister, Edna, and husband, Bud. And Christine as a baby, I believe, is in this. And Uncle Dale and Aunt Mellie. So here we are. This is Arizona. There's a lot of what I'd call dash cam video in here, where they just kind of somebody held the camera just out the window and just filmed, woods and snow and mountains and cactus and all kinds of stuff going by. So it's kind of, you get to see some vintage cars and motorcycles. There's some motorcycles going by, no helmets, of course. Just cruising by. A lot of really nice scenery. I kind of wonder, you can't help but wonder what this looks like now. Is that a park? Is there a restaurant there? A super Walmart? Stuff like that. And then here's a good secret. Vicki and Greg having some fun. This is a long sequence. They do this for quite a long time, and but they're having a good time. And there's Greg. I can't help but laugh every time I see Greg. He's a goofy little kid, always having such fun. Vicki too. Vicki was just always so happy when the camera is on. Man, they were having a good time. I guess they're playing some music or something, but keep going. We got plenty of film. Don't stop. All right, now this is my grandpa's house. There's Greg off to the left. Now there's my dad. You see my dad? And he looks, this is college age time for him. There's my grandma, Nellie. I love that sequence. It's not very long. There's little Christine Smith and my Aunt Mellie. Look at that. Nice. So again, still in my grandpa's house. And Greg and Vicki. And Christine is my third cousin be born there. So they're setting the table, and there's Greg walking around, hamming it up. He must have just set this up on a little tripod or something. There's my grandpa. There's my dad again, giving Greg a kiss. I don't think that's Dale. That's got to be my dad, I think. Maybe it's Dale. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell. That looks like my dad. Oh, yellow shirt. Is that? Maybe that's Dale. Uncle Jim? I don't know. It's tough to figure out. Such a weird angle to film. Everybody's heads are cut off, except for Greg and Vicki. Oh, here's the high chair. That must be for Christy. Now they're eating. Ooh, they got candles going and everything. Yeah, so there's my dad in the white shirt, and that's Dale with the yellow shirt. Okay, Grandpa and Grandma. They're pulling Christy around, so she's facing the camera. I don't know who this is. Doing a real number on that turkey, though. Look at that big coffee maker in the background. That thing's huge. All right, Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim worked his butt off during holidays. He's put together furniture, trees, filming. He was just so busy all the time. You don't even see the things that were gifts that were wrapped and stuff. But Carol and Jim, boy, they both had a lot going on. And Greg does a lot of Uncle Jim does a lot of this on camera. Like, I'm gonna film myself. I want to film of me putting this tree together. Now my tree that I have unfolds, and it literally takes like 10 minutes. This one is branch by branch by branch. I think Carol does a great job filming this thing being put together. I wonder how much those little silver things ended up on the carpet. There's Vicky by a fire, staying nice and warm. There's Greg. I remember when I could sit like that. I wouldn't last 5 seconds sitting like that nowadays, though. Greg looks so good with his suit on. There's Vicky. Smiles all around. Get together. Don't catch on fire. Kids on the couch. I like that tradition of kids on the couch. You notice that Greg is not armed in any way during some of this film. He's just kind of walking around unarmed, exposing everybody to they could be attacked at any given time. Look at all those presents. All right. Oh boy, story time. Here we go. And I think they're playing music, and it's the follow along with the book type album of some kind, because everybody's keeping the beat there. And so there must be listening and singing to something, I guess. Vicky's the dancer. She's always prancing around. Uncle Jim's keeping count of something. So something happened 6 times, then 7 times. Oh boy, 8 times something happened. Back up to 8 again. Down to 7 and 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and then we all fall down, I guess? I don't know. Here we go again, starting down from 9. 6, 5, 1. Ooh, we got the tree together. Here we go. Now, in my family, we put all the boxes and the bows and stuff in bags and all that, but here, go crazy. Oh boy, we've seen this before in part 1, the kid with the gun. And then Greg can't take it. He's going to come over pretty soon. There's some people on here, I don't know who they are. But Greg's going to get a hold of that big musket here pretty soon. Here he comes. He's coming in. Hey, what do you got? This kid got a guitar. Oh, it's got a little handle on it. A little crank. There's Christy, Uncle Dale, Nellie. I think they lived in Cedar Rapids at the time. Got a picture. I will have to get a hold of Aunt Carol and see who that is. Boy, Christy is little. Just a baby. All right, there's Greg. He's got his musket. He's mesmerized. That boy's helping him. That thing's so long, he's got to help him hold it up. Vicky got a doll. Must be talking. She's pushing a button. Look at all that chocolate. Oh, man. That looks good. And the hammer. There's Greg in his fire truck. You got some nice pajamas. With a hat even. Cap. This is Uncle Jim with baby Christy, Greg. Uncle Dale's there. Dale always wore those big glasses back then. Patty cake. Uncle Jim liked to cross his legs and tap that foot. They are taking another drive. Where are we now? Gray's got a hat on. Oh, we're at some big stadium in Arizona, I guess. Some telling me this building's could be gone, or just totally surrounded by buildings now. But back in those days, it must have been just an open field, and that's where they wanted to build the stadium. But it could have been totally developed by now. But I don't know where it is or. Snowing in Arizona. Man, that guy's hauling. Looks like some cows or sheep or horses or something. We're driving in the snow. No cell phones back then. If you got a flat tire or got some kind of engine problem, you are on your own unless somebody happened to come by, because you weren't calling anybody. Nobody at all. So, at least nowadays you got a chance. Snow plow. Going up the mountains. Well, I've seen all these cars go by, all the cars and trucks. Everything looks so different. Grandma and Grandpa's house. When Bud and Edna too, they all kind of lived in this area. From what I remember, they did. There's my grandma Nellie. There's Jim. We've got coats on. Grandpa, Mickey, and Carol. And they're at the dam. I'll say it's the Roosevelt Dam. My grandpa had a picture of this in his house, of the Roosevelt Dam with all the water coming out the bottom. It was a really neat photo. Taking another drive. It's a rough road. This is Route 60. Cattle guard, keep the cows in. We just made this road with a bulldozer. Just kind of scooped it flat. Holy cow, they're going to go through this river in a car? I guess you're pretty confident with how deep the water is in this sedan. Made it to the other side. I wonder if Grandpa bought a Jeep a couple years later. There's some rough roads out there. No way, cows. Here comes Grandpa walking out of the woods. He always wore a hat. Almost all the time he had a ball cap on. Outside he did. I'm the same way. A lot of scenery. A lot of scenery made it on film. Everybody's throwing rocks in the water. This must be some kind of garden or something. Looks like that's what they're doing. The rocky garden. Grandma Nellie with Vicky. Grandpa holding Greg's hand. Look at Jim run. Look at that. Here's Grandpa backing up Greg. Grandpa always seemed to be concerned about us getting hurt. I remember him talking about that a couple times. Don't do that. I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. It's a nice Jeep. I don't know whose Jeep that is, though. Maybe it's Bud's. I don't see them on film here yet, so I don't know. They borrowed it or something, but Grandpa's Jeep was yellow. That Jeep seemed to be red. Yeah, here in the Jeep. More dash cam film. Another cow. There Here's some antelope, deer, something like that. All right, building a fire. We have a cookout. There's a dog right on the Jeep. Someone's got their feet up on the Jeep. I actually have a ticket to Grandpa for riding a Jeep with the windscreen down. I guess that was a law. You couldn't do that on a paved road or something, but I do have that ticket. Like Roosevelt, I'm assuming. Grandpa went fishing all the time. Jim, playing to the camera. He's always aware the camera's there and he's always doing something. All right, here's Greg. He's got a stick and a rock. Greg likes to show everybody what he has. Rocks, Easter eggs, guns. There's my dad. So my dad used to go out and hit us shag balls in the back. We'd play 500, and boy, he'd come home from work and we'd be so excited. And Dad would hit, and then me, Travis, there's my mom, Mike Champley, my friends, we'd be in the back, and he'd be hitting us baseball. So my dad was really good at it. There's Edna. She's got a nice hat on. There's my mom. Did she hit this rock? Rock goes up. I think she hit it. She looks like a real baseball player. Uncle Jim. This is what you did before you had Wi-Fi. Always found rocks that hit with a stick. All right, peeling potatoes, Vicky and Edna. And my grandpa, those old cars. And here's cast iron. Cooking it up. Now there's my dad with the camera. So he had a camera. I don't know where that film is, but he was filming something. All right, here we are, July 2021. It's me and my Aunt Carol. We're in her driveway in Morrisonville. I'm coming back with the drone. And we just flew around. You can fly all over Morrisonville with my drone. It was so much fun. This is a manual landing. Okay, I'm bringing the camera up. There we are. She's looking at herself on the iPad. And that is the end of that.